Hello everyone, JL Wasabi here. In the next few minutes, I will be teaching you how to play Bastion Rapidfire in set 14. But before we begin, I would just like to say that it would really help small content creators like myself a lot if you can like the video and subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so. Thank you so much, and let's get right into it. While this guide may seem very specific, it is essentially a guide for stall comps in general. Stall comps are basically comps where the frontline units tank long enough for the backline units to scale up their damage output or chip away the enemy health to win the fights. In fact, you may be familiar with many stall comps this set, such as the obnoxious Twisted Fate reroll in patch 14.3 and Vayne reroll that dominated patch 14.2. There were also many broken ones in the past, such as Watcher Firelight Zeri just last set, and Bastion Targon Aphelios in set 9 Runeterra Reforged. Stall comps exist as some units are especially capable of abusing the scaling attack speed from Guinsoo Rageblade, which we will dive deeper into later in the video. For this video, we will zoom into the Bastion Rapidfire comp as both Bastion and Rapidfire received significant buffs in patch 14.4. And I would like you to know how to play this comp as soon as possible, since I expect it to be moving up the meta anytime this or next patch. For backline units, you are looking for items, units, or damage classes that can scale up their damage output over time in order to win the fight. This is where Guinsoo comes into play as an item. Ever since this item was introduced into TFT, it has been the most played item, given that there is no cap to the attack speed stacks for Guinsoo. Even though there is a hard cap of 5 attacks per second for a unit, the fight is usually over before that. The Guinsoo is usually paired with a Gunblade, the other important item in the stall comp that heals the lowest percentage health unit on your team. This forms a positive feedback loop where the Guinsoo unit heals the frontline units tanking, allowing them to scale further, which heals the tanks more since their damage output per second is further increased with higher Guinsoo stacks. Units that can scale with attack speed, such as Twisted Fate this set, synergizes perfectly with such a setup, which is why the Twisted Fate reroll comp has been stomping the meta since set 14 started. His passive increases with his AP with each attack, and together with Guinsoo and Gunblade, can output an astonishing amount of damage if he is not taken out fast enough. Damage classes like Rapidfire and Marksman this set also sits well with a stall comp since it provides innate attack speed or attack damage scaling so that the comp can reach a higher damage output earlier in the fight. We will focus on Rapidfire for this guide due to the buffs it received. For frontline units, you are mainly looking for a tank class that can fit into a stall comp. While all tank classes are fine to be used, the stall comp usually works effectively with tank classes that increase the effective health of units through increasing either resistance or durability. For this set, Bastion, Strategist, and Vanguard all comes into mind. The increased resistance and durability couples well with the healing from Gunblade, as the amounts healed on the tanks are effectively increased since the enemy will need to deal way more than 200 damage to negate the equivalent 200 health healed by Gunblade. Bastion further outclasses the tank classes since their bonus resistance apply to the entire team rather than just the tank units or frontline units. On the other hand, we avoid bruises since the flat health increase does not pair so well with Gunblade's healing, and also does not do well in late game due to effects such as burn that does max health damage per second. However, this is not taking into account unit quality, as we all know that Koboko and Cho'Gath are very strong tanks of set 14. It is also important to note that the tank classes should have traits that fit well with your backline units, such as Vanguard with Marksman. But for this video, we will use Bastions since it goes well with Rapidfire. So for your early game in stage 1 and 2, you should look to play Bastion Rapidfire if you are in a good spot for it. obviously having an early Bastion and Rapidfire opener. However, the real deal here is that you need to kick off with a Green Su. This item is a must-have as explained before. And if you do not have it, you need to lose streak for carousel priority to complete the item, since it is not guaranteed that you will get the necessary components from PvE drops. We are focused on getting to level 8 as soon as possible, since this is not a reroll comp, and collect Bastion and Rapidfire units along the way. Arriving in the mid-game for stage 3, you should look to go to level 6 and 7 while continuing to play your strongest board by balancing your frontline and backline. You will also need to form Gunblade to pair with your Green Su. Even Shroud is also beneficial since this is an AD-focused comp. When in doubt, always play more frontline units as this is a stall comp. More frontline units will always be better for you since you are solely relying on one backline unit to scale and carry the game at this point in time. At stage 4, when you typically reach level 8, look for Zeri and Sejuani for 4 Bastion and 4 Rapidfire. Your third item on your AD carry is flexible and can be a second Green Su or AD item depending on what you can form, or if you have useful exotech items for Zeri, such as Flux Capacitor or Pulse Stabilizer. You may also need Last Whisper if you are unable to obtain an even shot for Sunder. Fully itemize your main tank as well, so that your front line is strong enough to stall out the late game fights for your Zeri to scale up. Sometimes you may also find Renekton in your rolldown, in which you should definitely play him immediately since he's a strong unit that got a huge buff in patch 14.4. Furthermore, his Divinicop buff provides your entire team with additional attack speed. Here, we will talk about the late game cap board. After upgrading most of your units, especially your Zeri and Sejuani, you can then look to level to 9 to look for Renekton in order to replace your lower cost tanks like Poppy, Shyvana, or Illaoi. Continue to upgrade all of your units and splash in even more frontline units in the meanwhile, such as Zac and Garen to help tank for your Zeri to scale up. While 4 Bastion and 4 Rapidfire is generally the end goal, you can look to play 6 Bastion, 4 Rapidfire, or 6 Rapidfire, 4 Bastion if you are able to get a Bastion or Rapidfire emblem. Otherwise, you are only able to play that on your board if you can hit level 10, which will not happen in most of your games. Last but not least are the augments you can take for this comp. Bastion and Rapidfire emblems are great since they help you to reach your power spike earlier with 4 Bastion and 4 Rapidfire. As mentioned, it will also allow you to cap your comp with either 6 Bastion or 6 Rapidfire at level 9 instead. 6 Bastion got buffed and provides huge utility since the entire team benefits from the bonus resistance and synergizes well with Gunblade. On the other hand, 6 Rapidfire unlocks Rapidfire Renekton, which is a monster. Rapidfire emblem makes him a ranged unit similar to RFC Nocturne from last set. This also goes really well with him since he has innately high damage output and AoE attacks. While the trait-specific augment for Bastion isn't that good, the one for Rapidfire, Speed Kills, is a good one to have, as it allows you to stack up to 20 stacks instead of just 10 stacks of attack speed buff from Rapidfire. This can even allow you to drop Green Su for more damage items to be equipped. Given that the items are very important in a stall comp, you can consider taking Pandora's items if you fail to get your Green Su and Gunblade, else it will be rather unplayable. In general, you should prioritize one econ augment in order to hit higher levels unless you are playing a reroll focused Rapidfire comp like Twisted Fate reroll. You're absolutely awesome if you have reached the end of this guide, and I hope you have learned something from this video. If you find this video useful, I greatly appreciate if you can like the video and subscribe to my channel for more guides and gameplay videos. See you again. Bye bye.